Hello everyone, Speedrun here. Welcome to the very first episode of ragnaCAST, the Ragnarok podcast series on my YouTube. On the other side of the line today, I have Lex Rivers. Welcome Rivers, please let us know a bit about yourself.
Hello, my name is Lex Rivers, as introduced there, and I'm a game designer. I work with many types of design, including games, websites, AI, interior, exterior, network, and structural design. I graduated from Toronto Film School in 2003 for game design and development, where I've been pursuing a career in that field ever since.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. And I would like to bring a question. What is your first experience with Ragnarok Online and what aspects of the game made you continue playing and connecting with the community?
So I've been playing Ragnarok Online since the Korean version was introduced to me in late 2003, roughly November of 2003. I got hooked immediately and ended up going pro for a few years on the Korean server until 2006, where I then moved on to private servers and continued to play with large organized groups, which led me to the Athena forums eventually. This is where I decided to start developing and designing things for Ragnarok Online since I got more guidance from the forums.
That's even earlier than I started. You actually got the very start of this game. I think I started about in 2007, and yeah, so as well,
Yeah, and to
like
have the
to,
game going strong today is just it's insane.
yeah,
Gravity is still a very big company. They still continue to the development. Ragnarok Online is still a huge popular game.
yeah, I have never really seen a better MMORPG ever, like for the
Yeah, it's got a
own,
very good classic touch on it. I really do enjoy the
yeah,
nostalgia feel of it that they maintain.
same here. What is your favorite class on Ragnarok Online, and tell us why?
My favorite class has to be the Taekwon Ranker. And it has to be the Ranker specifically because they get that health boost, right? And the kick spam with the absolutely insane values of health you can get. The endless barrage of kicks you can drop. They can drop almost any MVP early game with just themselves, right up to and including Morok's destruction.
Yeah, there's a class that I have never really go deep in it, but it sounds a lot of fun and make me want to try to play with it now. But like if you could pick a server high rate, low rate, mid rate, what do you prefer and your level max range?
Me personally, I do prefer a 553. That is my sweet spot.
Yeah,
I will go as high as a 25, 25, 10, which is still an insanely high amount, but
agree.
I'm definitely a low rate player. I will commonly develop in mid rates because mid rate is more popular amongst players. But if I'm playing a mid rate, it's strictly PvP.
Yeah, I like the low rates as well. Quite similar to what you said right there. I also enjoy like almost mid rate if the level is like 254 or 255. But yeah, that's pretty much.
Yeah, the 255s are just oh, it can get messy a lot. Everything's just a one hit kill at sometimes, especially in War of Imperium. You get
Hmm.
two guys on you. It's just you get dropped by one, and then they get healed by the other.
Yeah. With that said, share a memorable moment you had while playing Ragnarok Online with us.
Now that is that's a deep question that goes so far into the memory bank that may or may not exist inside of my head right now. I don't exactly have a great memory with things that I did in the game, but I can always remember playing with my brother and just dominating every map we joined together. It could have been PvP, GVG, PvE. Nothing stopped us. The two of us, we had two specific combinations: Paladin, Wizard, priest and assassin, and we dropped everything with those two combinations. I was I was the paladin, he was the wizard, and we would switch it up between it. And then I would always be priest, and he was straight assassin. He dropped people, and I distracted them.
Nice. Uh, for me, just like farming around Ragnarok Online and interacting with people is such a good feature, you know, like is very special. It feels like inside the anime, a drawing cartoon. It's just interesting, this game, really.
Yeah, I a little offside of Ragnarok Online. I play Ragnarok Battle offline. Great party game. Enjoy it with your friends. You can enjoy it by yourself. It is one of the most fun co-op games I've ever played. It's a side scroller. I don't know if you've ever heard of Battle Offline, but it's definitely recommended for
Yeah.
me.
Actually, I have heard of and also have tried, but back on the time, my computer was not enough to run that, and I should actually try it once again, because I
Yeah,
believe
you know
now
what?
I can. Yeah.
I have it uploaded. I'll send you a link after the show here.
Oh, I appreciate that. So, what do you think makes Ragnarok Online unique compared to others MMORPGs?
Well, that's actually a really good question, and that does lean more into the design aspect of it, especially aiming back in. We will jump all the way back to 2002 when this game was developed or released. I believe it was September, maybe it was November. I don't know. Either way, it was in 2002, late 2002 ish. Or mid 2002. There were so many games that were trying to get that real 3D feel ever since the 90s, and RuneScape tried to do it with the camera angles, right? Where they would change the picture based on your camera angle.
Yeah,
Ragnarok does something very similar with the sprites. They managed to get the 3D world around them,
I
put it on
love this
a.
2.5D kind of.
Yeah, yeah, right? They put that 3D around them and then put a tile sheet around it. So you can walk on the tiles just in the world, and you can stop what tiles you don't want people to walk in. Much like with the brow editor.
Yes, the
Now
brow.
they,
Yeah.
they wanted to maintain the entire old school approach of the sprites that they have and they use actively, and give a new world with the three-dimensional aspects, which is a great thing. Their high quality animations in the early 2000s definitely impressed me, and that's where I started learning to make sprite sheets.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that you actually tried the sprite sheets.
Yeah,
Cool.
I have a lot of tools now that I use to automate it.
Mhm.
So when I'm doing edits with sprites and sprite sheets, I use these tools to edit everything and put it into place, perfectly into place,
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
doing it manually, as you probably know, can be time consuming.
Exactly. Yeah. It's actually interesting how much the community find out way round to develop these like custom like maps and sprites. It's just insane, you know, because
Yeah,
the
yeah,
files,
it's
yeah.
the community is very adaptive community too.
Yeah. Um, so what strategies you use to level up quick as well? Like, would you prefer pre-renewal or renewal?
Ooh, we'll split that one right now in half. The strategies I use to level up quick will be easier to answer here. So, definitely dual log with a tank. Paladin or priest, undead areas. Every time. Heal bomb with a tank. Fastest way to level up yourself, even in a group, super effective tactic. Everybody heals bombs with the tank, and you get more experience. Once a high enough level, you migrate to Magnus Exorcism on Necromancers, and then have a priest teleport, ME, teleport, ME, teleport, ME. Just do that until about 2-3 hours. You'll just start seeing the experience just start flying.
Yeah.
Now, as for pre-renewal and renewal, that begs the huge question of what you plan to do in the game. Now, with pre-renewal, I find a lot of people will definitely stick with PvP. In renewal, the PvP scene is kind of a one-hit click, kind of drop everything with one
Yeah.
click.
It's so powerful. Like the amount of
Yeah,
HP in that is crazy.
yeah. If you don't have like max health, just max everything, you're getting one tapped. So PvP is definitely sort of the pre-renewal scene. I would say, in just from what I've seen so far in my last time playing. And the renewal, I enjoy it. I enjoy it on PvE, player versus the environment. That's where you go MVPing. You fight everything. It's just because before everything was hugely percent based on I'm gonna get this 40% stack, 20% stack, 30% stack. Now I'm infinitely stacked.
Hmm.
Whereas the renewal, it takes those stacks and it kind of divides it down a little more, so you're not just completely stacked.
Crazy. Uh, so what are some of the most challenging bosses you faced in the game, like MVPs or whatever bosses?
Some of the most challenging bosses I would have to say that I faced would have to be Satan Morok. He was,
Yes.
I don't know why. Well, I mean, I kind of do know why because he had all the perfect elements around him. He had holy, he had ghost, he is dark. Like he had
Mm.
all these perfect elements that are completely resistant to many other elements. These are higher tier elements that you want to be. You want to be angel property because you get 25% resistance to pretty much everything except dark shadow and poison. You
Yeah,
want to be dark property because you get resistance to everything pretty much except holy and
mhm.
neutral.
I have seen the videos online. I never faced the Satan of Morocco myself, but I have seen how insane that is and was like a huge party trying to kill it. But
Yeah, the best tactics we've ever had
yeah.
with it was we drag the ghost guy and we have someone hold the ghost guy away so he doesn't do anything ridiculous, and then everyone just drops everything onto Satan Morag while two or three people are holding off the slaves as we call them, and you got to stop the heals. You got to stop the heals.
Yeah. And a lot of revive, I believe.
Yes, revive and
Mhm.
redemptio, best skill.
Yeah.
Redemptio and Nick Drazelberry. There you go. You just revived your whole team with one berry.
Yeah, so following next, in your opinion, how has Ragnarok Online influenced the game industry?
So again, we're gonna go so far back. I feel old just explaining it, but Ragnarok Online has shown so many great design plans over the years from its early developments. In 2000, where it was just a 9950 with one, kind of one line of class, and it
Yeah,
was
I
just so
love that
standard and
moment.
straightforward. It was so fun, but they realize that can't last forever. So they constantly build on this design. They don't redesign everything, but they build onto the design. So there are still to this day many active players on Ragnarok mobile game. If you remember that one coming out a while ago, that was a huge hit. I played it for a little bit, got into a clan, saw it was great, met a bunch of great people, had an amazing bond with them. It was fun times, and I can't game forever. So I eventually separated my ways, but it was a great place to game. It was nothing like Ragnarok Online. Everything was mobile, and their PC version to this day also has an immense amount of population and funding, let's say, as well. In fact, Gravity Co. still makes well over 50 million US dollars in revenue a year. They've been floating stable for the last, well, since Ragnarok was released, they've been floating stable. They've built quite an empire just using Ragnarok Online as their bread and butter.
I think what back in the time when I started playing was Windows XP as well. Like
Yep,
completely
Windows
different.
XP.
Yeah.
I was my first system I played Ragnarok on.
I have heard before the Gravity has been hacked. I don't know if you ever heard about it. Um, someone told me before on a YouTube video or a search online. I don't remember exactly, but have you heard something about Gravity being hacked at the start of their development?
Yeah, back in 2001, early 2002, there was a huge influx of maybe it's 2003. I think it might have been 2003. Either way, there was a huge influx of everyone trying to get into the server because everybody wanted pieces of Ragnarok. They wanted a piece of Ragnarok. They wanted to be the best, right? So people were trying to hack and sell, make money, exploits, you name it. It did go down. I'm pretty sure, amongst other things, they were wrong about a lot of the details that were released in 2003, 2004 that came out. It was leaked out that they got super hacked and everything went down, but I'm pretty sure right before 2004 came out, and I cannot recall all the details because it's been 2004. That the hacks they were closed out. They only lasted months at a time at most. There were hacks though.
Yeah.
I remember one of them being used on the live servers, Caro, and it was used then on private servers. I don't know if it ever went to any of the international Ragnarok like IRO or JRO. I don't think it ever hit those servers, but I do remember KRO, yes, getting hit for sure. And I just don't know if they wiped.
Yeah, this is what I was thinking because I saw somewhere that they erased maybe half of the files or half of the work, something like that. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if they did erase it, there's 20, 30, 40,000 plus affected people.
Yeah.
They would have to wipe the whole thing. There's no way they could pinpoint every person.
Yeah, such a mystery as well because
Yeah,
we don't
definitely a
know.
mess. I'm pretty sure I did not get anything wiped because I was in KRO, and I don't think I never got wiped.
Hmm.
I'm just trying to remember back real quick, and I don't believe I've ever been wiped on any of the official servers ever.
Yeah, when you start, you have developed maybe one or two servers along your life, I'm not sure, but when was your very first experience trying to actually build a server and how was it actually?
My first experience building a server was not too long ago. Actually, I met a good mate through the Arathana forums.
Mm-hmm.
He, I don't know how private he wants to remain, so I'm not going to name his name. But
Oh,
he's a very good mate of mine. We still reach out to each other every now and then for guidance and advice. And he helped me set up a Debian server, and I took that and I just migrated it to Ubuntu, which is my preferred system that I use.
mhm.
And that's what I've been running on for the last 8 years,
Oh,
6 years, 7 years. Oh, sorry,
oh, it's
it's
okay.
2001
Yeah.
was so 2019 was just before COVID, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
and it
Is
was
actually
going
your
on since
server
2017.
is your server online or you just use mostly for fun to experiment offline?
Right now, I just use it for my own personal development and a couple friends.
I see. Yeah, yeah.
There is no major release or online. I mean, yeah, if you find it, you could technically join it.
Okay.
There's nothing stopping you. It's an open registration, just like a Flux CP.
Yeah. All right.
It's
That
just the link is just somewhere else.
yeah, I was just curious on that. So
Yeah,
that's
my
yeah.
Ragnarok server runs off of a cell phone. It runs off of a Google or a Galaxy S10, 20, Galaxy S20.
How has the games community impacted your overall gaming experience?
Now, the official community has given me great hope for the Ragnarok Online, the world of Ragnarok Online. I have found great people all over the world, and literally all over the world, playing just mobile games and the official servers on PC. Very good people, great strong bonds, as mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And I've never had an argument outside of an official server.
Yeah.
These smaller communities like yours are also a great place to be. They're very great knowledge based. They're organized with ideas that people share. People bounce off each other. You got support from not just English speaking people, but you know, we've got Brazilian, we've got, I think, Japan. I've seen in there. We've got Filipino. We've got many languages going around.
Yeah, I'll take the chance to invite people to join my Discord, where people, just like River said, they help each other there. The link is in the description. And
Yeah,
welcome to
highly
join.
recommend joining.
Yeah, you can find me and River there, so can chat with us a little bit. So as well, let's talk. What advice would you give to new players starting their journey in Ragnarok Online? It's such an old game, but still a lot of new players joining it, right? So
Oh, of course, it's been around since 2002, but that doesn't mean it's still the same game from 2002.
yeah, it's very
Now, I,
different.
I played it back in 2000 and we'll say 2009 when it really things started to ramp up. And we started getting more classes, started getting more items, more quests, a lot more NPCs started populating the world. It was great. Things boomed. We had a big boom. And the officials, the official servers, they would announce, you know, things are across the world, like the CAFRA stuff. They ignore most of that. People will get sucked into a town, they'll see the CAFRA stuff being announced, and they just ignore it. And you go AFK and sit, and nobody talks to the NPCs. Nobody does the quests. There's a lot to do in this game that I am more than certain many
Oh,
veteran players have never even heard of.
yeah, sorry to cut you there, but you said there's a lot to do in the game, and that's why I stick to pre-renewal because I feel like I'm still learning. If I go to renew, it's just like will be another 10, 20 years just to understand maybe 10, 20% because it's so complex game. It's
Yeah,
really crazy, man.
if I just estimated the hours of just questing alone for the main quests, just the main quests, not even the side quests that are optional or fun to do, just the main quests that get you around the world and get you the standard things like cursed waters and you know all that stuff. I would say you're putting at least 150 hours, 150 or more hours into just questing. These quests are long, they're very extensive. They're very elaborate. Some of them require a certain time frame to be activated on. So
Yeah.
it's it does require a lot of possible guidance people might need. So don't be afraid to look up a guide.
Yeah, rate my server. So,
Yep, rate my server,
um,
biggest one.
what is the name of the tower with 100 floors where you
Endless
can
Tower.
endless towers? I have never actually tried to run that. I usually go to the MVP room as the servers I used to play has that. But have you done endless tower solo
Oh, many a
before?
times. Yeah, many times. Well, not solo. Sorry, my brother and I, we run them together.
Okay, yeah.
I did do it solo, but it's so hard and boring. Just it's better with two people or more.
Hmm. And what was
If you're
your
doing like if you're just doing a sorry to cut you off there. If you're just doing an endless tower run, best combination priest or paladin and wizard.
nice?
Make sure paladin is heal though.
Hmm. What was your most insane drop? If you remember dropping something on endless tower.
Dropping something and getting it, or dropping something and just leaving it on the ground and being like,
Oh,
I
I
just
mean,
left that.
every time I see videos, people leave mostly everything in the ground. I think because it's too heavy
Yeah,
or yeah, but did you drop any card or nice
I
equipment?
drop cards very frequently, just to give them to the party if I'm in a big party. But if I'm alone, I just give a quick glance at the map. If I see something, observable like a card, I'll go grab it. It weighs one weight. It's not gonna encumber me. But I rarely pick up things because I am 50% or 49.9% on weight. I have
Yeah.
potions right to 49.9%, and we leave like that. And
Hmm.
we gotta conserve those potions until we hit the top, and we are out.
Yeah, and those insane buffs that I don't know, a lot of food that increase dexterity and AG, all sorts of buffs, I think, right?
Yep. Always
Yeah.
launch those foods, and I always carry one of each on me for right before the end, and I always launch them right before the end, just to ensure I don't lose them while I'm in the middle of a fight.
Nice. Um, what were some of the challenges you encountered during your development process, and how did you and your team overcome them?
Now, this is a bit of a long question here for you. I'll try to be brief. The biggest challenge I've encountered is keeping your content safe from majority resellers. They
Oh,
will,
that's a
you know,
big problem.
obviously lines. Yeah, they will, line steal it just to get $5 from you. You sell a script for $10 somewhere, a reseller will buy it and sell it for $2 to five different people. They just made $10, right?
Yeah.
It's not very hard.
And
People pay
okay, I
$2
would
for
like to
something.
cut you a little bit just to mention like people think they are winning when they buy like this, but at the end of the day, you are making less and less people want to develop for this game because if they develop and their stuff goes to to the
Yep,
dark market and
absolutely.
sell cheaper, more people are giving up every day. So I believe if if you can pay from someone who stole it, why not just maybe it's double price on the from the one who designed it, just just buy the original one, you know what I mean? Besides, you have the support and you contribute for the community to actually stay alive.
Yeah, and I went to, I went to a business school after I graduated high school. I did a business course, and I learned something from that everything is a negotiation. You want to buy something from an author, a developer, message them. Say, hey, I would like to buy these four scripts or these four pieces of art, but you know, I don't think $40 a piece is going to cut it for me. Can we negotiate maybe 30% off and I'll buy all four right now? A lot of people, just 30, 40% off, that's, people will do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't be afraid to try and negotiate. A sale is a sale.
Yeah. So that was really good to point out for sure. Um,
Yeah, just
I
know if you're going to make something though, know the risks. There are chances that content is safe for just the first sale. You can only get that first sale. That could very, very well be your only sale if you sell to the wrong person. So avoid selling and advertising on places like the dark web, the Arathenia forums. They'll ban you, or their Discord. They'll ban you if you advertise there, obviously. But don't break rules in areas. Don't sell too high of a price. Know what your audience wants, what your buyers are going to buy for, and do some investigative research. Know what your resellers are selling for as well. If you can match what your resellers are selling for, or not match necessarily, but target what they're selling for, they can't sell it for as much money. Need to they won't need to buy it to begin with. If you're selling it for $5, they might not even buy it because it's only $5.
Yes, that's a very good thing that you point out. Um, when is when it's for free or too cheap, people don't value for some reason. Yeah. So
Yeah, if you want to get the best out of the best out of your work and your I guess if you're in your case your audience, because you're great at what you do, right? Your map making.
yeah, I
I would
do.
recommend what you do is you got your Discord. This is a website. Discord is just like a website. It's just like a shop. You can sell things there. You can talk to people. You can do forums. Plenty of things. Make a website. Set up a Discord. Get your name out there, and just know who your resellers are. If you're gonna sell on someone else's platform, like our Athena forums, know that you're not getting that money. They are keeping that
Yes,
money. If
this is good to
they,
point
yeah,
out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I have heard friends who sold there. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm also not saying it's right from them to keep the the creator's money to use it. So basically, if someone sell on Ratin, I think they can use that money just to buy something else in the forum, but they cannot cash out, basically.
Yeah, so I mean, hey, I'm gonna take all of your maps, speedrun here. I'm gonna take all your maps. I'm gonna sell it to my audience. I got a massive following, you know, I got 10 million people. I'm gonna sell it to my audience. You're gonna be popular, man. Your maps are gonna be all over the place, but you're not gonna get any of that money.
It's crazy, man. Like I believe they could at least, share 50%, but that's not my uh that's not my
No,
creation. So
it's
what
just the
yeah.
way they do their operation,
Yeah.
right? And people agree to it. If you read everything and you question them and make sure everything is as it should be, you, you agree to it, right?
Yeah. I
You know
got
what you're
some
agreeing to.
free I got some free maps in Ratina. I love Ratina, okay? I'm saying here.
Of
The
course, yes. They're a great
community
place, a
is
great source.
it's the best emulator in my opinion. Um, and also the best community. Sometimes you might have little trouble to get an answer, but these people are also tired to answer the same questions over and over again. Anyway, to don't keep this video too long, I would like to ask you one more question, and then I will as well let you ask me something after. What advice would you give to aspiring game developers who wish to create engaging and successful games like Ragnarok Online?
So if you're going to make a bestseller, is what we'll call it, you're going to need a reliable audience and a solid design laid out so that you can review it regularly, not just every couple of weeks or every few months or when you feel like making a change, but regularly. You have to understand, you have to dissect, and you have to know your design. And a lot of patience is going to be needed. You must have a lot of patience. Games are not made overnight. It takes much time to make a game. The last one I made took me 7 months. I had 1.5 people working on it, and I still was not happy with the end result. It took a long time. I was looking very looking much very forward to this game, and I was disappointed in my own work. It happens. We just pick up our feet, we keep moving, and we develop the next best thing for ourselves. There's always room for improvement.
Incredible answer right there. Yeah, I have to agree with that because first of all, Ragnarok is already half developed for you, so it's quite easy, but it's still like a lot of people joining my Discord. Not only my Discord, but I see in Ratina all the time. They think you're gonna push a button and it's gonna set up for you. Like this is the mentality of new developers most of the time, and
Yeah,
they think maybe sometimes they even want to start already on a host and online, but wait a moment, do it offline first. Make sure you can uh, feel happy with your server. It will take maybe 2 3 months to depends how much you want to develop on it. If you want more classic, or you want to add a lot of features, it might take years to develop your
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. It could literally take a year or more to develop a server that you
Mm-hmm.
want to be good. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with a server that is being developed and still has no players.
Yeah.
Because that server, not only are they older than other servers that shut down within a month,
Mm-hmm.
but they had 0 players and they still kept the lights on. That
Yeah.
tells you they got a dedicated team working it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a little bit of my server that I opened for fun, but I spent about like 5 years to develop. I could say way more, but I have changed the plans along the way, so I kind of restarted a few times. But
Of course, and
I
that's
only
that's
have
the
like
glorious thing about development.
at the moment I'm recording this podcast. I only have like maybe 5 to 10 players, active players, but they are really in love with the game, and I can see how much they are just happy playing it, and I'm going to keep it alive for a long time because I already spent so much time on it, so why not, right? And
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
And hosting a server at home can be, it can be very affordable, cost you next to nothing. You don't have to get expensive hosting services. You don't have to rent a machine from some expensive company. You can just do it at home. I literally hosted my servers on a cell phone the
Wow.
entire time, and nobody knew. Everyone thought it was a dedicated machine, which technically it is a dedicated machine, but it was just a cell phone. It had 6 gigs of RAM. It's got a good processor. It can process more than fast enough for well over 100 people.
Uh, that's insane because it's the first time I heard someone um, talking about hosting on a phone. As well, get ready because a lot of people is gonna ask you something about it. And
Yeah, I'm making some Ragnarok guides just to bring that up here. They are going to be released not daily, but I'm going to try and push for at least 2 a week, and I'm going to maybe do 3 a week. We'll see if I can slip in a bonus video here and there, but there will be setup guides, there will be development guides, design guides. There's going to be and anything related to editing the art, sprite editing, repacking the GRF, encryption, file types for what files to use and not use, so that you don't get errors or sprite problems.
nice.
So there's going to be a lot of guidance for that.
And that's on your YouTube, right?
Yeah, that'll be on my YouTube channel,
Mm.
Lex King.
Yeah, I will link here.
Sorry, Lex Rivers.
Yeah.
Sorry, can we edit
Yeah.
that one out? Lex King's my private.
I'm going to link Lex Rivers YouTube on the description. Go ahead and also, subscribe. Um, People, actually, the content for Ragnarok Online was quite poor on YouTube until, um, like I start created a lot of contents and people are thanking me for that because before I seen a lot of contents and people don't really explain very well, or they are just making that content to fish um, someone to talk to them and they sell some product, which I understand. But I want to change that, so I start creating a lot of guides. And I'm just so happy to help this community that was in need of so much love as well. I'm very glad Rivers is creating also YouTube with good explanations. I have seen you launch 2 or 3 videos right now about PHP MyAdmin something.
Yep. Yeah. I have. Let's see here. Actually, I have 6 videos right now, between the introduction of your operating system all the way down to the PHP MyAdmin setup, and I'm releasing a 7th video just to add into the end there, just for some extra measures for PHP MyAdmin to not be accessible through anyone else's computer but the host computer.
Nice. Yeah, when you told me about hosting on the phone, also I was like, mostly mostly people will not recommend to host at home, but seems like there's a way to protect things. I'm not sure, but I hope Rivers revealed this to us on his videos, and I would like to open um, for you to question me something.
Yeah, I got a few questions here for you, actually. So, I was always wondering, what brought you into the realm of Ragnarok Online?
Yeah, so when I was a young child, I saw my cousin playing Ragnarok Online and was BRO back on the time. That's the Brazilian Ragnarok Online. And I saw he was walking through Morocco and killing some Freoni and drops. And I was like, just looking at the graphics with tears in my eyes. I was like, what is this? Why I even look at this? And that from that moment, my life literally changed a lot. I got so addicted. I had dial-up internet back on the time, so I had to have some people download for me, and I could install and play at the weekends where the connection was basically free.
Yep. Yeah, no, I
That
remember
was
those
the
days.
dark times, the Stone Age.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, that was that's how I got in Ragnarok Online, and then a while after, maybe 2010, a little earlier, I start to I saw Iatina. I think it was Iatina. It was back in the time, not even Ratina.
Yep.
Um,
It was you. Yeah.
yeah, and
I
I
remember.
set up my first server on dial-up connection with no IP, and the database was just txt um, like files, not even
Yep.
SQL. Was weird, but it worked, and I had like 3 people join it, and I just turned on for one day my server. uh, that was a great experience. I didn't understood what I was doing at that time, but was a great start. And after that, I had a huge break, and I always like to open GRF and see the structure. So I got into graphic design later in my life. So that's why I do a lot of map designs and video. Then that was pretty much it that happened to me on Ragnarok Online.
Well, that's pretty wild. So is that what you might say might have inspired you to make your own server?
Uh, yes, I always want to make my own server. Actually, back on the time, I don't speak English. So
Oh.
so it was really really hard for me to do something as well. I was a broken kid. I don't have cash and um, shit internet.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was tough, man. But now with the technology that we have, there's no reason for the new developers to stress about it. You have basically
No.
everything in your hands very easily, and um, just you should love more the community.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We're sitting on the 22-year mark of the game. I mean, it's been 22 years of hardware development too, right?
yeah. It's not, and I love that the game keep those uh, similar or nearly the same graphic style. The consistency of gravity is really impressive, in my opinion. For 20 years to be carrying this same style pixel art
Yeah.
and the same style of
I was worried
texturing
the
is
fourth classes would screw everything up too. Third classes, I thought they would screw up all the artwork, but they did a stellar job maintaining it.
yeah. It's just it's the most beautiful game probably will ever exist. I'm pretty sure, I think. So
So, how long have you been making maps for, though?
I built maps for about 5 years, but it took me 2 almost 3 years to actually offer service or start selling maps. Before
Oh,
I was
okay,
just
okay.
making for my own server. People ask me all the time, please make for me, but at that time I was feeling not yet ready to make maps to people. I was more interested in learning and experiencing. So actually, if you go to my YouTube, you can see on the old videos I made some Pokemon maps. That took me almost
Yep.
1 year, and suddenly I decided to not making Pokemon anymore.
I mean, probably for good reason, though, because,
Yes,
Nintendo.
yeah, you know why, right? I believe, and I don't even want to mention the reason why I stopped doing, but just in short words, to keep safe, and
Yeah. So,
yeah,
what are your plans going forward with, in regards to map creation?
map creations. Um, I mostly like to inspire new map designers or someone who's just getting started. As you can see, I have the tutorials on my YouTube teaching nearly everything you need to know about map creation, also 3D modeling.
Yeah, it
So
looks amazing.
it's just before I was I opened GRF as I mentioned, and I keep seeing how they texture this tree. How is even possible to attach a texture to the 3D? So I got so fascinated by that that I started to deep research and ask a lot of people from all sort of places, and I start connecting the puzzles, and I figure out so much that wasn't told before in the community, and basically just inspiring people is one of my goals here. Um,
You do a very great
not
job at
even
that.
much cashing out my work, you know what I mean? But
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, cashing out is not really for me, it's not at all. It's not at all a problem for me. I'm not saying I'm like loaded or anything, but I don't do Ragnarok for money. I do Ragnarok because I enjoy this game. I enjoy the development of this game. I want it to proceed in development. I just want to see the success of this game
yeah,
moving forward.
yeah. I would like to say something on that. A lot of people open server thinking of the money, and these are the people, in my opinion, I believe, has the biggest chance to fail because they just too greedy, and uh, in 3 months they will not see the money and they will shut down. And a lot of
Yeah.
players, they invest a lot of money expecting 10 times of the return or whatever, and then players join because they see the money flowing there. But you should look for more servers that are not as big, because those are servers that people spend a lot of time making it without spending too much money, and these servers have much more chance to be alive for a long time.
Yep, absolutely. And you don't need a boatload of money again to start up a server. You can, of course, host it if and especially if you're new and just starting out, host it locally. Make sure you can run it. Make sure you can maintain it. Make sure you can manage everything.
Yes,
If you cannot do that, don't put a bunch of money into a system.
exactly. Some people straight away getting Jeopard and paying developers, but then the developers will do it for you, and you one day they will let you down, they will leave, and your server is gonna die because you don't even know where is the NPC at. You don't know how to edit or reload the server. It's insane. How many people going in deep trouble because of this almost every day, I believe.
Yeah, no, it's an ongoing battle, especially with things like the anti-cheat. That's a good one. The anti-hack is a touchy subject because it is so underdeveloped and not maintained at all. And there are so many exploits and current cheats available on the market that bypass these anti-cheats.
Yeah. Even the official ones.
Yeah, yeah, even official, especially official, because I don't know if you guys know about Easy Anti-Cheat, Battle Eye, anything like that, Punk Buster back in the day. These are all kernel-based anti-cheats, and they install into your system. Now, these kernel-based anti-cheats, they hold all, like you it's really hard to hack them. They control all your data, they hold all your data, they know everything about your computer. They've got all your system information, and they can do whatever they want with it. They can scan it, they can delete it, they can do whatever they want. So that's how they know if you're cheating. Now, it's harder to bypass these, but with easy anti-cheat and things like this, it's a little easier because they're so popular that we have more hackers just trying and working hard to get through it. And they do, of course, right? And then they sell it for, $70 a pop, and you're good.
Yeah. This game is it intrigued me a lot. It's just so much happening under the development, um, like also the player side, people trying to flatten the maps and tweak here and there just to do something either on the game side or developer side. This game is just fascinating. It's really
Yeah,
beautiful. Yeah.
and the packet editing and packet manipulation back in the day, a lot of it has been patched. Like, you can't use Winstock Packet Editor on a standard current model of the game right now, like a 2018 plus. There's no way it's going to work. So you don't even really need to worry about that. You just have to worry about the new applications that are privately built, which you can't stop that. You can't. They're going to constantly update. They got a team working it. You update it, they're going to update it right away. And then it's an endless battle. So the best way to do things, besides a ban wave every 6 months, would be hard code delays into your game. Hard code items dropping into your SQL. Put it into your servers. Maintain everything through a live network. It's going to be harder for them to grab these packets and manipulate them because it's such more advanced hacking, and we're a niche audience. It's a niche game. You don't need, you're not going to have the craziest hackers on the planet working for us.
Okay. Is there any other question you'd like to ask me?
No, that was all the questions I had for you, my
Oh,
man.
nice. It was such a good time. I don't even know how long time we are recording it, but I feel so enjoyable talking to you.
Yeah, this was a great talk. Thank you so much for having me out, and I really hope we can do this again sometime.
Yes. I would like to invite people watching at home to just comment something. What do you think about this podcast? If you want to see more, just let us know. I would like to invite Rivers in the near future again, talk some more stuff, and as well have great developers, players uh, joining into this ragnaCAST. And yeah, any other thing you'd like to say before we say goodbye?
Yeah, I just want to thank all the supporters here, everybody viewing, any likes, subscriptions to this channel. Everything is supported through us. We work hard. We don't ask for money in the end. We just want to see this community thrive. We want it to be healthy. We want it to be maintained and happy. We want a nice clean Ragnarok. And I hope this ragnaCAST podcast helps maintain that.
Amazing. Once again, thank you so much. I'll be staying here right now, and peace.